Shawn Ray here for the Muscle Fitness and Flex Shawn Ray Report. I want to do a little bit of a rebuttal regarding what Governor Arnold Schwarzenegger has put out into the universe regarding potential return of the drug testing as it relates to bodybuilding. I think he was asked some general questions while at the Arnold Classic over in South Africa about his thoughts and his opinions on drug testing and bodybuilding. And they're pretty profound from the standpoint that there were no drug testing back when Arnold was competing for the Mr. Olympia titles back in 1970 through 1980. The drug testing didn't come into effect for professional bodybuilding anyways until 1990. And how do I know? Because I was the guy that actually failed the drug test at the Arnold Classic, a show that Arnold Schwarzenegger put on his second year of the Arnold Classic some 30 years ago out in Ohio. I actually won that competition and was notified later that I had failed the drug test. And with that being said, I'm not against drug testing. I think it's a very good concept. I am pro-choice, however. This is a grown man's sport, and the anabolic field of choices of drugs that the athletes use to increase their performance, increase their appearance, recover from workouts, increase their muscularity, it runs the gamut. There are so many different choices out there that it's become very fashionable now with the anti-aging movement to find a reason to go and get a testosterone boost or get some growth hormone. And that's all above board, and it's legal in the proper sense of the use. Now, when it comes to sports, performance-enhancing drugs, it's always been frowned upon by the masses, which are typically people that are not, they're basically layman people. They don't know what the drugs do, what the reason for the drugs are, how long a person takes them, why they take them, etc. And that's for both male and female. Steroids have been around for a very long time, and it's a very personal choice in which ones athletes use. I see Arnold's concern with respect to the quantities. A lot of the notion is that if a little bit is good, a lot must be better, and herein lies the rub. The majority of the people that are taking a lot of the drugs Arnold referred were not athletes. They were just everyday gym rats in the gym. That's easy to kind of point fingers at, and they're actually pretty easy to spot, the abusers. But what about the performers, the athletes that are putting in the work and that are getting, overtraining and underfed and starved and have to make weight and have to look a certain way? These anabolic drugs obviously work, otherwise the athletes would not be taking them. There's a very fine line in use and abuse, and of course that's going to be different for all the athletes. There is no one that's monitoring the intake or restricting the intake of which ones people use. So this is free choice here. It's almost like race car driving. The cars, we want to show up as fans and see them go as fast as they can go without crashing and burning. And we do know that some of them crash, and we do know that some of them burn. But for the most part, they're very well-oiled machines. And for the bodybuilder that's using anabolic drugs, for the ones that are trying to look a certain way and perform at a certain level, they have to learn their bodies first. And sadly, the amateurs don't do that. They want to get in the gym, they want to grow tomorrow, and they want to compete tomorrow, and they want to be Mr. Olympia today, and they try to fast track the process of building the foundation and the base. And I think this is where the governor is more concerned with, is that the athletes today are not building the fundamental building blocks from which they can develop their bodies. I remember a lot of bodybuilders when I started out as teenagers and grew into men and had very successful, prosperous careers. And nowadays you've got grown men that are jumping into this arena at 30 plus years old, loading up on the anabolics and the growth hormone, thickening the heart, thickening the blood, winding up with strokes, heart attacks, and even death. There's really no right way or wrong way. I think that the best way is freedom of choice. I think that when you have a drug test, you have athletes that are going to beat the drug test. You have people trying to work their way around the drug test. It's another brick in the wall of trying to figure out what to do as an athlete, and it also leads to some dangerous black market drugs. And it just seems more of a crapshoot when there's that restriction. I think that when there's freedom of choice, it's left to the athlete to be responsible and to do the right thing, get their blood work done, and walk before they can run. So with this, I respectfully disagree with the governor in bringing back drug testing, and let the athletes decide what's best for them in order to entertain their chosen field, their fans, and reach their specific goals. I don't care what they do or what they take. I just want to see the best looking athlete or the highest performing athlete, and for that, the playing field would be level. But with drug testing, I believe the athletes will find ways around it, and it will be a very unfair disadvantage to those that are not intelligent enough or sophisticated enough to know how to beat a drug test. And with that, it's my opinion on the Shawn Ray Report.